Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are coming back for part 2 of prepping for the Strawberry Festival. And I would have been here a few days ago, but I was having a hard time editing the last video. So in this video you're going to be on the later end of the prep. Tomorrow is the first day that I'm selling, but as you can see I still have quite a lot of work to do. So tonight I am just going to be working on finishing up some plushies and hopefully getting some of the signs and maybe my business cards done. So we're going to work on that and roll the tape. Okay, so right now I'm working on gluing the eyes in on my mini bees, and I just have 3 more bees to go. I originally was using the safety eye backs on these bees, but it was really coming out easily. So I decided to glue them in, and I have to glue the eyes in on these 3, have to glue the eyes in on Kato, and then I have another dragon that y'all still haven't seen yet, but I do need to glue the eyes in on that. So I'm just going to get to gluing, and we'll see how long this takes. Hopefully I can get it done pretty quickly because I only have about 30 more minutes before I have to get ready to go to bed because tomorrow is going to be a very busy day. So let's get started. Also, if you didn't see my last video, I explained how I glue the safety eyes into my plushies. I hope to make an actual tutorial here soon, but if I don't get to, just go to the last video and I explain it hopefully in detail. I was rushing through editing, so I hope it's in detail. Okay, so while I glue these in, I thought I would chat about what these bees are going to be for. Pun intended. So I saw a lady, I'll put her name up on the screen, I can't remember the name of her YouTube channel, but she was prepping for a very large festival, and she did something that she called a minis bin, where she had a lot of mini plushies that she made and then charged $7 each or 2 for $12. And Monday I saw that video and I was like, oh, that's such a good idea. I already have the 10 bees, I just hadn't glued the eyes in yet. It's like, I have 10 bees and then I have the 5 axolotls. Why don't I just go ahead and try to do that? I actually don't think I've showed y'all the axolotls yet. I will try to do that soon. I know that a video coming up soon I will have an everything I crocheted for the festival, so hopefully that will come soon. But I was like, well, let me try that. So I crocheted all sorts of things. I'll try to show them off in a minute. And then I had some smaller plushies that I had already made previously that will go perfectly in the bin, and I'm going to do the same thing. It will be $7 each or 2 for $12, which is going to be super cool. And I have quite the collection of them. I didn't think I had that many, but I kept making things and I ended up with quite a lot of plushies. So I have bees, lottles, I have a mushroom. I wanted to make more of the mushroom pops, but I only had one of them prepped so far. All of the major prep is going to be done by tomorrow, but hopefully Friday night I'll have a little bit of time to do anything that's sold on Friday at the first half of the festival. I can maybe see if I can remake for the next day. I'm not sure how things are going to sell Friday because it's the car show portion. It's not actually the full-blown Strawberry Festival, so we shall see on that. But I do want to make more of the minis, hopefully Friday night. So there are all of the bees with their eyes all glued in. I have 10 of the bees. So what I'm doing is, I will go over this in another video. It's gonna come out much later because this is something that I can do after the Strawberry Festival, but I'll give you a little rundown here. So I have everything on this page marked with the prices and how many I have in pencil, just in case I end up making more, so I can always mark those out and add the new number in. And then on this page I have everything listed. So on this page I have multiples listed, and on this page I have the colors as well. So this is basically my whole master list of everything that I've crocheted, and I'll keep adding to this, and this will help me in the end, help me to go back through and remember what inventory I made for the previous year if I do decide to do this next year. So I have the bees, mini bees marked. This is my mini bin section. So let me go ahead and show you all the mini things that I've made. So here is my mini bin. Let me get y'all at a better angle. Okay, I think y'all can see me. So I of course have 10 of the mini bees, and I don't think I will do it in this video. I think I'll do it in the Everything I Crocheted for the Strawberry Festival video. I will have the patterns linked in that video, so stay tuned for that. I'll hopefully have that video. If I run out of time, I will not do it, but I think it should be a pretty easy one to film in one setting, so we'll see. So I have all 10 of these little bees, and they were super fast. I got it to where I was making one in 8 minutes, and they're no-sew, so that's awesome. I don't have this marked on my list yet because I only have one of them, but it's this mini strawberry jelly cat. And if you saw in the previous video, I made these jumbo strawberry jelly cats, so this is a mini one. I don't really like how the feet turned out. They're super big in comparison to the body. I think I will put this in the mini bin, just have one of them, and then I will later on perfect the pattern. I think I might make the feet out of acrylic yarn instead of the bulky yarn, and this is the Hobby Lobby brown yarn mentioned in the last video. So I did make one of those. I still haven't added it to my inventory yet, just because I'm debating if I want to make more of them. I don't think so between now and then. But anyway, there's that. Next, I did not get to show this in the last video because, like I said, I ended filming Monday and did a lot more on Monday than originally thought. I might have actually mentioned these. I can't remember. Anyway, they're worth showing again because they are absolutely adorable. And they are the mini axolotls. So I have 5 of these made in all of the main colors, so I couldn't think of anything else, any other colors that I wanted to make. I could make an all orange one with red gills, but for now I think these are good. They're the good colors, and I really like how they turned out. They're super cute. They do take a little bit longer than the other projects. I think they took 15 minutes. Just because you have to pause and do all of the gills. Although it is no-sew, you do have to do the gills, and it's a little bit complicated. And in the end, you do the surface crochet for the tail. But I think it's worth it because they are super cute. So I have 5 of those. Next, I have already previously made these. So I went under my bed today while showing my mom everything that I had for this bin. And I remembered that I had these. So Sweet Creek Patterns, I got to test her mini owl and her mama owl pattern, and I am selling the mama owl separately, but in my minis bin I am going to be selling the mini owls. I think I made like 30 of these. I've given some away, but I have 3 light blue, I have 3 dark blue, I have 2 of these purpley colors, I have 2 of this purple and pink tie-dye color, and then I have 2 out of this dark purple color, and this is a different type of yarn, so it's a little bit smaller, but it takes the same amount of time. And all of these are a little bit larger. I was considering in the beginning selling them separately from the mini bin, but if I were to actually sell them, I would price them at around $7 or $8 because they take little to no time. I can make one of these in 15 minutes, so it's the same time as my mini axolotls. So I thought I'd just add them to the bin because they are cute, and I may not add all of them at once. Like I have 3 of this blue and I have 3 of the other blue. I might just add 1 of each color, and then if someone buys it, I'll add that color back into the mix, just so the bin doesn't get overwhelmed because it is going to be a pretty small bin. Okay, next I have 1 mini dolphin, and this is a pattern that one of my first pattern tests I did on Ribbler, and this took 6 minutes. So if I have time, I'm going to make 1 more of these just to have 2 of, because they are absolutely adorable. They are very tiny, so I actually might make this into a keychain and sell it for $4 or $5 and not have it in the mini bin, but I went ahead and popped it into the mini bin just to have And if I made this out of burlap blanket yarn, it would end up the size of everything else, because pretty much everything else is made with the burlap blanket yarn. So I do have those colors. I bought them from Joann's the last time we went, so I might make some of those. Like I said, that will not be before the first event tomorrow, but it might be tomorrow night. So I will add that to my list. Okay, now I have one mushroom poppet, and it just pops like this. This is yet another one that would be great if I had more time, but I don't think I have more time. So I have one of those. And then we're getting into the fun stuff, and this is the stuff that I've made here recently. Actually, I've made it yesterday and today. So all of these, which are pocket frogs, I made 4 of each of these colors. So I have like the muted green color, and then I have the green color. And this is actually the color green from Bernat Baby Blanket, and I got it from Joann's. If I go back to Joann's and they have this, I'm going to get more of this, because green blanket yarn is super hard to find, especially at that price. So I made 4 of the green color, and then I made 4 of the muted green color, and these are adorable. They take about, I'd say, 12 or 13 minutes to make, and honestly, it shouldn't take me that long, but I was using a 6mm hook, I think. No, it was a 5.5. I was using a 5.5mm hook with blanket yarn, which is a little bit smaller, but I didn't want them to turn out huge, and it had bobble stitches, which automatically take me longer. So I just made 4 of each of the color. But they're adorable, and I really hope that these sell, because they're so much fun to make, and I would just love to see people buy them. All of this stuff, I'd love to see people buy them. There is a moth. Anyway, okay, next. These were so much fun to make. They felt like they took a long time to make, but I think it was actually only like 15 minutes, so the same amount of time as the axolotls. And they are these little mini capybaras, and they would be a larger plushie if I used the blanket yarn. But I used the Dollar Tree Just Chenille yarn in that brown color that I do not have the name of. So I only made 3 of these. The reason why they felt they took a long time was because they had bobble stitches and chain stitches. And it was a smaller yarn, so I'm used to seeing like the frogs and the bees work up super quick. So it was a little bit interesting to see that. I think there were like 16 or 17 rows, so it's not bad. And it's a free pattern on Instagram. So they're super cute. I made 3 of them, and I feel like this is one that's going to go quickly. So it's probably going to be one of the ones that I will have to restock Friday night. Or hopefully Friday night. This might be one of the ones. Trying to think of projects to bring Saturday while I sit at the booth, because I'm sure I won't be busy the whole time. So I'm trying to think of things like that. Okay, last thing that I have prepped so far are mini chickens, and these work up in like 6 minutes. They're so fast. The thing that takes the longest, it adds like a minute or so to my whole time, is the embroidering of the details, but they are so cute, and it's a free pattern on Instagram. This one I made with a 5mm hook, and this one I made with a 6mm hook. You can kind of tell the difference. This one is smaller, this one is larger. I ended up making all the rest of them with a 6mm hook just because I went faster, because it's easier to work with the blanket yarn with that. So I made 2 of this tan color. I hope y'all can see this. It's late at night, so it might be a little bit wonky to look at. Anyway, I made 2 of that color. I made 2 of this gray tweed, which is super pretty. This is some of the yarn that I got on sale at Walmart. I think I mentioned that in the last video. And then I made 2 of this brown tweed. So I made 6 chickens in total, 3 capybaras, 8 froggies, 10 bees. Anyway, so those are all of the minis. And now I just have a couple things that I want to show you that I have made between now and the last video. Like I said, I won't be showing you everything just because I want there to be a little bit of surprise for the everything I crocheted for the Strawberry Festival video. And like I said, if I don't get to film that video, I will definitely at least make like a montage of pictures, because I'm planning on taking pictures of everything and listing it all on my Etsy, because that's just how I work things. Anyway, so let me get started. First, I was hoping to get one of these made, and I actually did make it. It didn't take as long as I thought it would. It is this fruit hat ducky, and this pattern is by LA Crochet. She has a free pattern on her YouTube. It is so cute, and the little hat comes off. It's just a little rubber ducky, and I thought this would be great to have because, of course, the car show, and I know people with Jeeps like to exchange duckies. Like, I was even considering making some little rubber duckies out of yellow yarn. I ran out of time. I ran out of time on so many things. But those are the little fruit hat duckies. I only made one of those, but it's cute. And then, my pride and joy. I did not get to show y'all this in the last video, because by the time I had made it, I was editing the last video, and if I take the SD card out while editing, it messes up the whole process for some reason. But I made this giant dragon. It is a strawberry dragon. It has strawberry horns, has the beautiful little wings, the fuzzy stripe, and of course a strawberry tail. And I actually made a video of making the very first one of these dragons. It was this cutie. I made this one out of acrylic yarn, and it has a daisy for the tail, and it was a pattern test for Southern Crochet Creations. She still does not have the pattern out yet. It used less than a full skein of the Walmart Mainstays yarn, which is the same yardage as Burn-Up Blanket. And then it was just so much fun to make. I used 4 strands of Dollar Tree, I think it's teddy bear yarn, in the white to create the stripe. I do have the Burnette. I'll put it on the screen. Y'all saw it in my very first Joann's haul video. Anyway, I do have that, but I didn't want to use that because I have projects in mind for it, and I didn't want to not have enough to do it with. So I made that adorable dragon, and I think that's the only thing I'm going to show you for now. I am going to glue the eyes in on this one, and then Kato the dragon only has one eye because the other one fell out somewhere, because they came out because of the thick yarn, but I didn't know exactly where to place them because the whole pattern twists on itself, so I ended up just deciding to glue them in. So I'm going to glue those in and do a few little things. I'll probably see y'all in the morning because I need to focus and get things done. One last thing before I go though. I am making a few more things for the mini bin, and it is this strawberry. I still need to embroider the seeds, but it is a free pattern, and I have 2 more finished in here. I just have to embroider the seeds. My goal is 5, so I'm hopefully going to get those done before tomorrow night. So I have a lot to do. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Good morning, everyone. It is officially the first day of the festival. I'm so excited. My mom and I have been working this morning on setting up a mock-up of the tables so we know how big it is and what we need to do. So here are the 2 tables. They're smaller tables, and I put them together. And this is actually a bed sheet. We didn't have any neutral tablecloths, so I have this beautiful tablecloth that has my favorite colors on it that goes with my branding colors, so we used that. And it works great. It just doesn't cover the end very well, but I personally think that it's worth it. And then I have this that I'm going to be putting stuff on, and I put the dragon up there just to see how it would look. And then I don't know if I'll actually do a full mock-up here. I probably will, so I can have a reference photo. But we're going to be leaving at around 11:30, 12, and it is officially a little past 9, so I have a lot of work to do. This morning, I was like, you know, Mom, I really wish I had a sign, and she said, well, why don't you make one real quick? So we got some brown paper out, and I painted a sign. So it looks kind of like the banner that's on my Etsy and my YouTube, I guess, but that's the best I could do with what I had, and it'll just hang up on the fabric there. I'll probably pin it, or I can put it on the window behind it. So I'm excited. I need to get started on some other things. I need to tag everything, and I need to make sure I have the minis bin correctly, make sure I have everything logged into my log, and then I'm going to try to do that video where I film everything that I made. But what I might do is just do it silently and then do a voiceover along with how many sold and stuff. That might be a little bit easier, so I don't have to worry about the whole thing today. So this is the current state of my room. My dad made me this cash box yesterday. So we used to have a farm, and we have cash boxes, but they're all broken. So he made this out of wood, and then this just slides open, just like that. So that's awesome. Today, what I'm going to work on first is this cow right here. I need to put some spots on it because I think it looks kind of plain without it. And then I'm going to get straight to tagging because I need to make sure I get that done. So let's get started. I think my camera's about to die, so I'm going to put new batteries in and we'll do this. Okay, so I just finished the cow. There are the spots on the front and then the spots on the back. The next cow I make with this pattern is going to have a couple rounds of the arms in the black because I think it'd make it look better. Now I really need to get started on tagging everything because we do have to leave pretty soon. So I'm going to tag everything, and then with whatever time I have left, I'm going to work on trying to make some QR code business cards. I love these jelly cats. I might make myself one and then have these on my bed during the summertime. Aren't they cute? Strawberry fruit hat ducky. So it is Tuesday, the Tuesday after the festival, and it all went very well. I'm actually coming on here to sign off this video. I know it's not as long as you were probably thinking it would be. It's definitely not as long as I thought it would be. I was hoping to get more footage of me at the festival and more footage of me making things for the festival. But I was just so busy, and it was a lot of work to try to pick up the camera. I did get some videos that I think I included of the festival itself, of the parade and stuff, so that's pretty cool. And I'll try to have some pictures somewhere showing off my booth and such, and then in the next video I should be going over the results, what sold, what didn't sell, and just some general tips if you want to do a festival of your own. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and if so, please like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye!